Okay, rational functions. Fractions to you and me. Nobody likes these. Okay, so the idea behind solving rational equations is finding the lowest common denominator. Okay, now, here we go. We've got a 6, a 3, and a 3. Hopefully you can see the lowest common denominator is 6. Now what I'm going to do is multiply everything by 6 to get rid of the denominators. In other words, I'm kind of going to do this. 6, multiply that by 6, and multiply this by 6. Okay, so if you look at the first one, these cancel. Okay, and that's why I multiply by 6. You're left with an x. Here, can you just see this is just 6 over 3, which is 2. And here, what I'm going to do here on the right-hand side of the equation is cancel this here. 6 over 3 is 2. In other words, I've got 2x minus 4, okay? So, finally, x plus 2 equals 2x minus 8. Let's have a look. Take away x on both sides, add an 8. That's going to give me x equals 10. You can go back and check it, but that should be it, okay? Now, the problem is when you get to the harder ones, is what is the lowest common denominator? Now, can you see, for question 13, I have a denominator of x, a denominator of x minus 4, and a denominator of x minus 4. In some ways, it's kind of similar to this one here with, different, but a couple of them the same. Okay, so x minus 4, x minus 4. The lowest common denominator is basically just what you have. In other words, it is x minus 4. You don't have to write it twice, okay? There's an x there, and there's an x minus 4. So, unfortunately, everything has to be multiplied by x minus 4. In other words, I'm going to do this to the first one, this to the second one, and this to the third one. Okay? Now, it looks bad, but it's not as bad as you think. And the reason is, let's just get some space down here. Okay, the reason is they cancel there. Okay, the x's cancel in the first one, leaving with an x minus 4 with a 1. That's not going to change anything. Here, can you see the x minus 4's cancel? Plus 1 times x, okay, is 1x. And finally, these x minus 4's cancel, leaving with an x and an x minus 3. Okay, so if I solve over here, or simplify over here, I've got 2x minus 4. Over here is x squared minus 3x. And eventually, if I bring all of this, take away 2x and add a 4 onto the other side, I'm going to have a quadratic. Take away 2x, it's minus 5x, add the 4. That's nice because that will factor into x minus 4, x minus 1, so x equals 4 and x equals 1. Now then, here's the thing. Look at this. See that x equals 4? It won't go back into either of these two denominators because you'll end up with a 0. So the only answer is x equals 1. So be careful of those. Okay? Right. Let me just erase some of this here so I can finish off the bottom one. Now then, with this one. Okay, again, you're going to have to find out what the lowest common denominator is. If you look at this, I've got an x minus 4. Sorry, an x plus 4, an x minus 4. Okay, so they're going to be part of the denominator, but this you actually have to factor, okay? And that, believe it or not, is actually exactly the same things as what you have on the left-hand side of the equation. So the lowest common denominator is x plus 4, x minus 4. Okay? So what I'm going to do is multiply everything by x plus 4, x minus 4, and again, it might look a bit worse than it actually is. So again, x plus 4, x minus 4, x plus 4, x minus 4, x plus 4, x minus 4, all three terms multiplied by x plus 4, x minus 4. Now can you see over here? The x plus 4's go with x minus 4. With the 1, not going to change anything. Here the x minus 4's go. Negative 7's still there, but can you see this x plus 4 is left? Equals. What's nice about the right-hand side is everything's gone, it's just 4. Okay, and then you would just solve for x. But again, be careful, because remember, if I check here, I cannot have x cannot be negative 4, and here x cannot be positive 4, because I'll make 0. So you just have to check your answers at the end, okay?